tragic. That I have the model that I've been living by is that people, and it's just easier for me to believe. Are stupid.
They are dumb.
It just
They're feeble-minded.
It's just it is what it is. I don't know. Say about it. I thought I was smelling.
What? Expecting a burger right now. Yeah.
Now you get to eat during the podcast. Bucket.
Yeah.
Bucket list. All right, guys. Welcome to Anime and Thangs.
Welcome.
We didn't do a cold open this time. We doing a lot of ripping and running.
I thought we weren't gonna make it today.
Yeah.
Listen. Wait, matter of fact, what time? Like all your boy. Listen, we all know once I get comfortable, it's a wrap. Same with her. We have a short window with each other. Like hers, as soon as I take my pants off, whatever we supposed to do is done.
I'm telling you, that's why when I got home, I put gas in my car. I got home, ate something, kept my clothes. Like I just.
And then me, it's like once I get too comfortable or whatever I'm doing, it's a wrap. Like my mind be set for a certain time. Then it's kind of like a class. Like you got, if your teacher X amount of time late
after 3:00.
Yeah, after 3:00. So I'm like, usually we do it around like 12:30. So I'm like, okay, it's 12:00. Hey, look, it hit 1:30. It's a wrap for me.
Sometimes your parents need to talk, and that's okay.
And I'm like, 1:30 is a wrap. Then she finally hit me up before then, like I'll be there at 1:30. Okay, that's all I need to know.
Sometimes your parents just need to talk.
Because I'm thinking she went out of town, all types of stuff. Because I'm like, hey, look, if I'm here from about 1:30, I'm going live on Twitch. Okay.
No. I see that Sauce Man is live. I'm like, yep, well.
We sweating our parlays for the football game, baby.
Ridiculous. Lord. All right. So, since you sent me that video yesterday, we got some stuff to talk about. Do you feel like people who only watch one genre? I got two questions actually.
Okay.
And the first one is, do you feel like people who only watch one genre like shonen are losing out on like anime as a whole?
See, it's hard because I'm one of them people.
You are.
No. I'm saying I'm one of the people of like, you like what you like.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, if that's what you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so especially coming from the video game world, because you have people who play one specific genre of video games, and it's like you just be like, okay, I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you'll poke fun at them in a while, like, nigga, open your mind up to new things, you Neanderthal, like you simpleton. But other than that, at the end of the day, I really don't care. Like, I mean, now will I take your opinion on like different animes in consideration? Probably not, because I mean, how can you have an opinion when you usually only watch one thing? Now, I do venture out, but like I said, I like anything I venture out to have a little bit of action in it, or my attention span will run out and I'll become disinterested. It's not me; it's a little chemical thing.
We know,
like you know, I didn't choose to be this way. It's like my chemicals weren't made right.
I think you're missing out. I think when you limit, first off, because of the way shonen in all genres of anime say that not all shonens are the same, just like all shoujos are the same. It's all relative.
It's all relative.
But I will say I do think that if you only watch shonens, one, I think you'll tire of the genre quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, which is why I noticed that the people who are arguing about shonens are the people that only watch shonen. Mm-hmm. Like, they're the people who are like, Bleach is a lot like Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, yeah, but because you've been watching Dragon Ball Z, then you went over to Bleach, then you went to My Hero Academia, then you went to. So I think that the problem is that you start getting frustrated quicker with what the genre has to offer, because that's all you watch. It's kind of like all the Fast and Furious. Yeah. You can only get but so frustrated with.
It's all the same. I mean, but yeah, it's the same.
But everybody still lines up because those people are fans. Like, I think they're all the same too. My husband's a fan of them. So far, I like Tokyo Drift because I'm just a ridiculous person.
Like, I mean, but when you stay along the same genre or something, you openly acknowledge it's the same.
Oh yeah, all horror films are the same.
Yeah, like. Once again, back to games. 2K. I know 2K is gonna be relatively the same.
Every 2K
year.
is gonna be the same.
Yeah, like I'm just looking for improvements here and there.
Well, if they did something different, you wouldn't play it.
Probably not. I mean, actually, if they did something good and it was actually different and it was actually good, then yeah. But if you did something different and it's trash, of course not. Get that out of here. Yeah.
I think it's like people. Some people had some problems. I was on like Spider-Man subreddit, like the game subreddit, and people were like, "You can't do anything but swing around and be Spider-Man." I was like, "What the fuck else?
I thought,
what did you want, Sims? Like, go play Sims."
Like that was the whole point. Like I play Batman because I'm trying to creep. I'm trying to drop from high heights and snap your neck. Like people, like. I don't think I'm here to be Batman. Like that's the whole point. That's why I'm on Superman, so I could swing through the city like a fucking idiot. Like
I think that's where the genre. I feel like we keep having these people that are introduced. They find a niche and they stick with it. And I think that's where the part where I'm kind of getting sort of like, why don't you watch anything else?
Or like the one they used to give me them with the Transformers movie. All it is explosions. I mean, they're transforming cars. Like, how in depth did you want to get here? Like,
right. But the other thing too is that for you to sit here and complain and continually watch it, that's the part too.
I knew what I came here for. I came for transforming cars and explosions.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Michael Bay, keep doing what you do. This is what I'm here for.
I know every rom-com I watch is going to be the same. A meet cute. I'm so busy. I don't have time for love. I've been hurt before, and I won't be hurt again. Right. I know exactly what I'm getting into.
I know what I'm here for.
There, and they go, this Valentine's Day. Like, I'm like, yeah.
Like, I know exactly what I'm getting when I watch a shonen show. Maybe, like, a iffy, like, storyline, but a lot of action. And, that's what I'm here for. But then I got other things with less action, but more of a storyline. So, like, wherever I'm getting into, I know what I'm here for. Like, I know I'm gonna be upset when I load up 2K every day. I know, but I'm still here for it. Like,
like I'm about Megan Thee Stallion song. They know it's very expensive to date me. Like, they ain't giving their money to Megan. Like,
I know what I'm here for. I know what I'm like when I put in a parlay. I know I'm here for disappointment. But here we go.
I think that we're at this point now. As anime gets a little more stronger, I think first of all, like the fan base for shonen is way louder than the fan base for shoujo, as well as the same fan base for horror. Like, and I'm noticing that people are so.
It's just this habit of people just dying on hills. Like,
no, you're right.
Everybody finds a hill and they're just like, I'm gonna die on it. Like, and I'll just be like, it don't have. Like, people be trying to force me, like with the whole wings thing. It's like boneless or bone in. I like both. No, you have to choose one. I don't
care enough about wings.
Like, it's chicken at the end of the day. Listen. No matter which one you put in front of me, I'm not turning that bitch down. If you put in boneless lemon pepper wings, I'm eating them. Bone in, I'm eating them. It's chicken.
Those are my feelings with like stovetop mac and cheese, like stove mac and cheese. Like, my husband prefers stovetop and I prefer the oven. Yeah. So like, I'll make him stovetop, but I feel like it's very blasphemous. When I make it, I'm like, this ain't meant for the world.
But I mean, like, if you can jazz it up to where it's good, I'll still eat it.
Oh no, I make stovetop mac and cheese from scratch.
Yeah, like, okay. So yeah, like I don't really care as long as you can just. If anything, I could throw my half in the oven if it's that real.
Honestly, and it wasn't. I made it. I was more mad at the fact that I have to mix it more to get the cheese. Because all the cheese goes to the bottom. Yeah. Like, that was I was like, so why would you like this instead of being evenly, you know what I mean?
Distributed throughout.
Like the fact that I have to dig to the bottom to get the cheese. That was the part that I was like, what type of psychopath?
Either way, like, you know what I'm saying? People waffles or pancakes. I'm going to go eat whichever one I feel like eating that day.
It's the people that don't. Lift your chair. I know, I was just thinking that. I was about to, but I keep going back down, so I'm like I guess this chair's really on this end of its life, because I'm like, if I do it, I'm just gonna make my way back down there.
Look, again. You see, I done shrunk you taller than me now.
I know, like we're just gonna.
We've got the same issue.
Yeah, like we're just running out of air. It's over with. But I think the problem that we have now is just. I think that the video you sent me, obviously the woman was way more like aggressive about her feelings on it. You know, she was like, it's the epitome of guys who don't. You know,
what she say? Let the water run down your butt crack.
Yeah, like, just like that's also been a very interesting thing I've been seeing.
But it's like, I don't know,
kind of all over too. I'm sure it's not all of y'all. I know it's some, and I know.
Oh, so listen, it all started because the sound came out of nowhere on TikTok. Like, there he is.
That's the guy that's
And it was like, I was like, first off, where did this sound come from? And first off, that is a wild thing to call somebody out on.
Between the other thing and the dude that's like, I'll be damned to be listening to the like stuff of a man with an unwashed ass. And I'm like, why are you? I'm like, and it's the men calling each other out. Like, I saw a video of the dude got a bidet, and then he the next day he was like, look, you had a lot of shit to say about my bidet. Like, oh, if you're cleaning it, you're expecting visitors or something. He like, yeah, I like alternative bitches. And my alternative bitches like to do alternative shit. So you know what? It might make them feel a little more at ease if they go in my bathroom and see a bidet. Now they can be as alternative in the bedroom as they want with me. And I was like, you know what? I respect that though. Because
that is wild.
It was
you know, I appreciate the confidence, like, because you know, like that's a bold statement right there, dog. Like,
you know what?
To the public.
No, it absolutely is. But I will say that I think that's something like my dad mentioned it today because he has a sweeper's kitchen. He was like, the first thing you see from my house is the kitchen. If I have a nasty kitchen, you're not gonna eat anything in my house. And I'm like, these are facts. If you have a nasty bathroom, like if I can't find your washcloth when I go into the bathroom, I'm nervous all of a sudden because, like, are you hiding it because it's filthy? Or, like, you had, like, what do you...
It could be laundry day.
It could be. But if every time I'm over...
Oh, yeah, every time, then
I'm nervous. I'm anxious.
Because I'm not going to lie. I just put my stuff in the washer, and when you said that, I'm like, I'm nervous for her to go to my bathroom. Now she's going to think this nigga don't shower.
Like, no, but I'm sitting next to you and I'm not vomiting. So, I mean, obviously, whatever, even if you aren't showering, whatever you're doing is working. Like, either the whole room stinks and I'm used to it, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's something that people, I feel like that's something, like, we just keep calling each other out.
Yeah, we do.
And I feel like that's kind of, like...
It's like everybody's car getting pulled.
It is. And the crazy thing, though, is that we're pulling cars that we just don't have to pull. If you like to watch only shonen, fine.
Like, do what you do.
That's really not my business. But what I'm not going to sit and listen to is, man, this is all the same. I'm like, well, you won't move genres either. Yeah. You know, like, when we get to the, like, I'm not going to bash shonen. I like shonen. I like shoujo. I like sports animes. I like horror animes. I like it all. I feel like it encompasses it all. Same thing with movies. Like, I finally watched Wolf of Wall Street like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I don't care about money movies, but you know what? That had me. Also, because I was doing some training at work for like taxes and stuff, and
you know, he got you in that mood. You know
what they told me about, they like talked about money laundering in the movie Bad Education. And I'm like, wait, what? So I watched Bad Education, and I was like, I think I like money crime movies. Yeah. Like, I think I do. I think I like gangster movies.
Watch Ozark. Ozark.
See, I can't get into it because I don't need to watch it for that long. I don't care enough about it that long. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, I'm not about to watch this build up. I want to see a rise and a fall. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they kind of rise and fall pretty quick.
They do. It's just a longer...
Yeah. Like, I'm like, my boy Marty be going through it.
Yeah, I got to keep up with too many... I just... You know what I mean? As well as, too, I feel bad because I'm bugging my husband the whole time. Like, wait, who is that? I don't know that. I'm like Lois from Family Guy. He's like, I'm watching the same episode as you.
I got a question. So like say it's a movie you know he's seen, and then you ask a question about the movie, and he doesn't answer the question because he wants you to watch and find out, but y'all keep asking the question, like, why?
It depends, because we both go into movies, and he both said he always goes, like, when we go into Marvel movies, he's like, I don't know who anyone is, so I'm gonna ask you a question.
Well, no, I'm saying like y'all both seen the movie before.
Oh.
So prime example, we was watching John. Yeah, so because a couple weeks ago we built the fort.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, all the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
So she fell asleep on the third one. Like, she's seen the third one before. So watch it again. Part where the doctor was helping him out.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, he gonna kill the doctor?" Because she forgot what happened. She's like, "Is he gonna kill him? Why he gotta die? Why he gotta die?" And I'm just like, watch.
Just answer me.
But it's about to happen. It's literally about to happen.
Well, what he'll always say is it's about to answer. But that's what he said. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Don't be quiet. Just because I'm be like, hello, like
because I'm like I'm looking at the screen.
No, like when it comes to watching movies, because I definitely did sit there and ask like 8 different questions during Wolf of Wall Street, and while I turned my head, absolutely missed something. I was like, wait, what happened? He's like, well, rewind it, but he's like, okay, so this guy, like, he doesn't mind it because it's
me.
Fine.
I do the just watch. Your question is about to get it. Just watch.
Yeah, you just like
because if I answer it, you're going to miss it. Like,
yeah, just answer it.
I'll be trying to stall.
It depends on where we're watching the movie at too.
Yeah.
Like any questions I might have for the movie, it's a bit like Fast and Furious. I always have questions for because I'll go to every single show and I don't care about the movies enough to keep the to like instill the characters. I know them well enough. I know what they do.
I ask questions if I come in like mid like TV show, like so like say if you're watching the series and you like, and all I need is just the gist of what's going on in this episode, because if I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna lose interest and I'm probably gonna walk away.
I also just pause when you start asking me questions. If we're watching TV at home, I'm gonna pause it. Like I mean I do feel like I'm sure my husband can tell when I'm starting to get irritated because I pause. Well, no,
I just need a quick rundown of what I'm.
That's why I pause it.
Yeah, because if I'm just sitting here, I'm just gonna be lost. Like
that's why I pause it.
Like I just need like a 2-minute.
Yeah. As well as my husband is good with names, so when I go do like I'm like this dude right here, he about to do this. Like I just kind of.
I had a conversation about that because some people was like, "Oh, if you don't remember names, you're not a real anime watcher." Then I guess I'll never be one because I can watch 1,000 hours and still won't remember a name. It
honestly depends on how much screen time he gets.
Yeah.
Like Revenger, I've been watching, but I really don't know their names as well. Granted, we're only like 3 episodes in, but I don't know their names as well because they really don't say them as like, and as well as too, just like the main characters are like, sometimes they're not rememberable. And I think that's something too, like I cannot remember.
People also have to realize these are like a lot of black people won't remember a name mainly because it's hard to say. Like, and some of these names be Oraru, Kukuraru.
When She Sweet had came out in the Naruto game, I respectfully remember this dude going, "Oh yeah, my nigga Sweet," and I was like, She Sweet," and he like, "Oh, that's Sweet," and I was like, You're remembering it wrong, so you'll forever say it. It's like when you learn something wrong, you remember it wrong for the rest of your life.
Black people just give people whatever name they want.
Like I was like, so I just had to stop talking to him about Naruto because he kept saying sweet.
I'm that person. Hey, look, once I get a name that I can get down for you and remember, that's your name.
My husband can't say Inuyasha. He says like something else, and I can't even repeat it because it's wrong. Like and he's like like he puts the U in the wrong spot, and I'm like Inuyasha, like
Inuyasha.
That he says that, and
Inuyasha.
I'm like that's not the name. Like I'm like it's Inuyasha.
I mean, but I don't know, stuff like that don't really bother me because I maybe because I've been that person who like, look, bro, I can't remember your name, so I'm gonna just give you a name that's close to your name, and we go rock with that.
The reason why I don't like it is because people like to shorten my name, give me like. And stuff like that, and I'm like, that ain't what I fucking told you to call me. Like you have one or the other, but you don't get that middle one. Don't do that.
I feel like you don't have to.
You remember my wedding with the DJ called me. You remember the DJ calling me like.
Oh, he did.
Like 3 times, and like my face was just getting cloudier and cloudier.
But it's like once you say cat, it's like what do we need to derive from the cat part?
That's the thing. We couldn't talk to him, so he did it on his own. So I was like, yo. And I was
that's.
Don't shorten my name. Don't shorten my name. It's the epitome of when we get older and we start dealing with, we have harder names to pronounce. And these people can say these names like O'Shaughnessy, but they can't say like Dwayne. Like you start getting irritated because it's like, it's more about the effort. You're not trying to put in the effort. It's one thing if we don't interact enough for you to know my name. If you forget my real name, fine. You know me as Copycat. You know me as Cat. I don't care that you forgot my real name. You call me by the name I asked you to call me. Like, that's fine. But what you're not going to do is shorten or give me a name you want me to, that makes you, no, fuck that. Fuck all that. And I think that's why I get, like, it is annoying. When you're the anime girl and you get irritated about people saying names wrong, people think it's even funnier. Like, it makes them laugh even harder at you. Because they're like, you're taking it too serious.
I mean.
And you like, I can't talk about it with you because you keep, and I have to figure out who the fuck you're talking about. So now my brain is going through, like, have you seen those videos where it's like, I started watching the anime with the psychic? and you're like, okay, like that's a lot of anime. So the girl's like the psychic that doesn't want his powers. Psyche, okay? No, the psychic, he's a really nice guy. Mob Psycho? Yeah, him. Okay, cool. I don't watch enough Mob Psycho to remember his name is Gale.
I don't even remember his name. like and I watch it, but
like,
they call him they call him mob. They call him mob so much. Like when you was, I'm like, his real name is. I'm 2 seasons deep. I can't remember that boy's name.
I feel like that's what it is. Like I hate it. I hate that caring about anime. Like we're in this really odd spot where if you care, people are like, you care too fucking much. But if you don't care, people are like, you ain't real. And I'm like, there are nonchalant watchers.
Yeah, I'm the nonchalant
watcher. And then there are like people like, I don't really have an issue with you saying the name wrong as much as it's like, well, I'm gonna call him this. I'm like, that's not his name.
I mean, because at that, usually when you get to that point, you've given up on trying to remember this person's name.
But just explain that part, then. Like, I don't have time for this. I'm gonna just call him. No,
like I've given up. I've tried.
These are the same people though that will throw hands with you and you can't say their name. That's what I'm just look. I get it. They're not real. They don't really deserve all your respect. I get it. But like, her name is Bulma. It's not Bully, it's not Bulla, it's Bulma. Bulla is a whole different person. And while I'm sitting here trying to figure out what you're trying to tell me, Rinosuke is who? Who? Like, what are you talking? Who?
Nah, I'd have been lost. Who? Rinosuke?
Who the fuck is that?
Who?
You sit there like, what show? What show? Like, I love when old people go, oh, my kid is into that. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, he like the one with the eye. And I'm like, what?
I mean, old people did. First off, they only seen glances and glimpses of it. So,
I know, and I hate it.
They be trying.
I hate it so much. Like, I was explaining to a coworker, we were talking about Dragon Ball Z because her husband loves it and her kids are into it. And I was like, yeah, no, because Piccolo is Gohan's dad. And she's like, that's impossible. I'm like, what? She's like, he's a Namekian. He can't do that with Chi-Chi. And I'm like, did you think I was implying that he was his real father?
If they not a hardcore, they not gonna get the joke went over her head.
And I was just sitting there. But no, that's the crazy thing. Super hardcore. Loves Vegeta. Here for it. Gonna get a Bulma tattoo. That's why I was just sitting there and I was like,
well, it just went over her head in general.
It really did. And I was shook. Listen.
Did she watch the early days?
She, yeah, bro. Yes. She's seen all of it. Even watching Super. She's even watching Super.
Huh, so how did that go over your head?
Girl, you got me. What? Boy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I haven't had this many female friends in such a long time. I've been calling my husband girl.
I get it from her. She bitch. Ma'am.
You see, I was like, boy, my bad. Like, I know it's bad. It's bad. And it doesn't help either that some of the people I talk to, like when I hang out with Langston, like I'm like, girl, and he's like, girl. Like, that's not helping either. Like, it makes you feel better. My husband, when he goes, yeah, man. And I'm like,
I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, yes, sir. And I'm like, yeah, like, like I just got used to it, but like sometimes people kind of turn their head, like, what you doing? Like,
what was that show?
Daria. My sister got this for me. It's Jane Lane from Daria.
Yeah.
My sister's got a Daria lady, so we matched. We were talking about getting my sister a Quinn one. I don't know if I think she'll be offended because Quinn's fucking but
no, okay, I can see that.
So the other anime
I'd probably
question,
be offended if somebody got me like character.
Yeah, well,
like if somebody got me the hoodie of the guy who wears glasses and blue lock to look smart, I'd be hurt.
Honestly,
they was like, them glasses not gonna make you smarter, dog, and he just keep hitting them with the push.
I feel like that's how people feel about Mitsuya and Tokyo Revengers or Takemichi. Like, you'll take any character but Takemichi, just like you'll take any character but Deku.
Yeah,
like any character but Deku.
You trying to call me a crybaby?
Like, right now you kind of like, so what the fuck is this about?
Like, what you? Something you need
Never
to get off your
chest? Takemichi definitely choked old boy out until he passed the fuck out in season 1. At some point, he definitely takes a knife to the hand. At some point, old boy gets shot. Like, he watches, and it's crazy, because, like, the last season of the episode when Chifuyu is about to get shot, and, like, gets shot, he's freaking out because he's been shot in the leg, and, like, Chifuyu was like, listen, these are my last words. Like, quit crying over there. Like, mind you, Takemichi is the fucking whole ass hero of the show. It's like,
don't nobody want to be, because he a punching bag.
Yeah, It's like how nobody wants to be Bubbles on Powerpuff Girls. Even Bubbles didn't want to be Bubbles. Like there's a full ass episode where they're playing Powerpuff Girls and Blossom wanted to be Blossom, but Buttercup was Blossom and Blossom was Buttercup, and nobody wanted to be Bubbles. And Bubbles deadass was explaining to the professor like she's like, and nobody wants to be me. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna hurt your fucking feelings. Nobody wants to be Bubbles, and I ain't gonna hold you. If we was playing Powerpuff Girls, bitch, I'm always Buttercup. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Nobody wants to be Bubbles.
We had extenuating different like situations though, because at my cousin's house, she had these two little girls across the street. They was real cool, but there was 4 of us, so we had 2 Blossoms.
So somebody had to be the Mojo Jojo Professor X.
Utonium is his name. Professor Utonium. The X, yeah. Chemical X is what he dropped in it. Yeah. No, but it sounds like his name should be like Professor. Yeah.
It's been the 90s since I've seen it.
You know, you're right. It's been some time. But yeah, I mean, well, nobody wants to be that 4th pop-up girl that like was made crazily and then exploded. Like nobody wants to be her either. So yeah, I mean, we had someone to play Bubbles.
I mean, you know, it was a brief stint where dudes could get rowdy puff boys.
Rowdy rough boys, I love them because they're made of like snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Puppy dog tails.
I thought it was toenails in there too.
Snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Those girls are made of, you know,
sugar spice and everything. Nice. Yeah, that's why I thought it was like a toenail.
Yeah, it sounds like it would. The Rowdy Rough Boys, though, I gotta admit, like I like their names, Boomer, Rick, and like they were pretty dope. I mean, they folded like omelets when they got kisses on the face. They like, exploded. That was kind of funny to me. I mean, it's no different than what regular lifestyle is like. But,
I was like, what do you expect? But they came in there all glammed up.
Yeah, they did.
Hit them with the Riz.
I know, all the Riz. It was cute. It was a cute episode.
I know what to do with that.
I love the Rowdy Rough Boys. Let me just say that too. They had got to be them and the Green Gang.
Killed my boy Mojo Jojo kids, man.
He exploded. They was fine. They were chemically imbalanced. If a kiss made them do that, dang.
I mean, they was put together just like.
He made them out of toilet water. Okay, let's talk about that. He could remake them, and they returned. Let's not act like this. They returned.
Murderers.
Okay? Unlike the other girl who was unstable, Bunny. Bunny was unstable and blew up, and she just never came back. That was a dark episode. Bunny was like special.
Some of the darkest episodes was with him.
Man,
him used to be wild.
Yo, I loved him honestly, but my favorite villains, they were Green Gang. Like, cause clearly, you know, like a boy crazy.
Y'all like delinquents.
I love delinquents, and it's because they had those hearts and go. It comes from the enjoying of reading like smut and stuff like that. Because women love those guys that are like, you're mine. Like there was a storyline where the guy was like, you know, I love you, right? Yeah, because I'm about to fuck you like I don't. That kind of shit. Like that's that shit that just drives you crazy. We don't want a nigga like that in real life, though. So, correction. I don't mind my guy being, like, older towards me. But, like, I don't really want to hold Sasuke because I would be like, bro, you a bitch. Like, I would just... like,
punch him in the back of the head.
Like, because I don't like the way Sasuke get down sometimes. Like, but having an Itachi? Absolutely.
I mean, you know, he ain't bad. You know, he come home, you know, with his one arm and check up on this lady and his daughter.
He does.
He's a little better now.
Oh, no, he's absolutely a sweetie. It's just that, see, here's the thing. Even people be like, you miss your wife? And he's like, kinda. They're like, what do you mean, kinda? Like, personally, I ship him with Naruto.
See that man, he has a family.
So does Naruto.
Leave them alone.
They chased each other long enough.
Leave them alone.
Well be together. They chased each other long enough. Same thing with Bakugo and Midoriya.
Leave them alone.
To be fair, though, when I do ship them off, I be thinking like Bakugo would be good with Uraraka. I always put Mina with Kirishima. Like Deku ends up with Todoroki. Deku's not with Todoroki. Deku ends up with Uraraka, and Todoroki ends up with Momo. Like if someone's doing if Baku goes with Kirishima,
we're gonna get the fraud chick.
Opie kind of could be with Deku, or she could end up. Actually, you know what? A lot of people put Jiro and Denki together.
Somebody sleeping on Opie.
I feel like people sleep on Tokoyami. Like the dude with the bird head. Yeah. People sleep on him. I put him with Jiro. I feel like they would
wasn't that his actual head or was it a mask?
It's his actual head.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember if somebody asked him was it a mask or was that his actual head. But somebody
actually, they're not feathers either. It's his hair. That black thing, they're not feathers. They're
because he was like, hey, got the bird mask on. He was like,
that's a head.
My dude looked at him like,
It's not a mask. You were very upset when you found out. You were like, "What are you talking about?" Like that's his head.
That's what you got going on. That'd have been my next question. Like, how you got to be?
Somebody did make a funny TikTok that I was like, I would be afraid to have kids in the My Hero Academia where you could fucking push out a fucking spray bottle head kid. Like, which is true. There's a guy. If you pause one of the episodes, there's a dude with a squeegee for a fucking head. Like,
because I'm like, bro, you got a beak.
Yeah, like absolutely.
How you get a beak?
We do actually. There is a like conversation about how the people who look terribly different, like how they are mistreated. Like there is in a world where people have
I think he did was saying something like that. He got low key mistreated because of the way he looked.
Him and the guy with the mask and all the multiple arms. Yeah. Again, don't see him a lot, but like we finally get to see him take his mask off in the manga where he gets to like show what he looks like. But the reason he wears a mask is because he upsets children with his face and he can't be a hero
upsetting
like,
children.
Yeah, like it just doesn't work. And I think that which I think pulls us into a lot of pretty privilege, especially with people like Bakugo who look like normal people, but your name is Death Explosion Murder God. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like having a guy say, "Get your ass down here, I'll murder you." I'm already in peril. What you gonna do? I'm already
you
trapped.
The hero?
Yeah, like,
you the
like
hero?
do you know who's paying you? Do you know who you are? Are you Shigaraki's?
One of the top heroes?
Right. Too? Like, are you Shigaraki's dude or are you like what are you?
Whose side are you on?
And I feel like that's something that was I'm happy that Hirokoshi actually like kind of targets that kind of thing, that even in a world where everybody has their own thing that makes them special, people can feel some way to just dislike, disagree, and mistreat. Like, and that's terrible actually, because I mean, imagine what cosmetic surgery looks like. You have a very useful court, but because of the usefulness of your court, people can't take you seriously. Like, I think Froppy's dad has a toad head. Yeah. Like, so some of them look like toads, and then she doesn't. Yeah. But her mom also has like kind of frog-like aesthetic.
Yeah, but Froppy low-key do too. So.
She does. That's where she gets it from. But you can't help but
or like dude who's like an actual, just like a whole killer whale. Like
like you know, it's probably hard for those kind of people to find love and move forward.
I was just thinking of a TikTok. I saw the giant chick.
Yeah,
dude,
Giganta
dude was down bad, man.
Yeah, waiting on her to fall on him. Yeah, like, but you get like those kind of like you have like Lady Midnight over there who's like perfectly fine shaped person, and like people love it. Yeah, I think that there's definitely something to be said that in those kind of worlds.
Lady Midnight, just the way she is wild. Was.
Did you haven't caught up yet?
Yeah, was. But that's.
You know, she's actually the reason why some of their outfits have to be conformed, because apparently her original outfit
was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, Lady Midnight, you know
she
how
still
she
is wild. She still is wild.
You know how she getting down.
Yeah. Like, I feel
she seemed like one of the teachers that get caught up messing with the students.
I doubt it, actually, just because they're just. I feel like
I'm talking about like if it was like a real world translation.
Yeah.
Like she'd be on the news.
What I do say, well, right now the kids are all like 17, 18 now. But what I will say about them is that they are like kids. Yeah. Like Tokyo Revengers is
except for what's his name, who can just phase got his powers back. I can't think
Mirio.
Yeah.
Well, Mirio was a third year, so that meant he was already 30. Mirio is a third year, so that man already looked.
He look like he about 25.
Yeah, he does. I do
look like Reggie coming to Martin Door.
Man, what
fuck is you?
I know.
15.
Like, she said, "Shit, you look 35." It's the fact that they all kept doing it. Like, the fact that the joke kept going.
That dude was like 6'5".
But he had such a boyish face. Like and in the braids and everything. I was like,
he was taller than Will Smith.
He was all quiet. His lips was all low. He was like, "I'm Reggie." I'm like, you can tell this is a child. He's like, "Shit, you look 35." I'm like, no, he doesn't. Shut up.
It was because he was towering over both of them. They both looking up.
Will was out of eye with the kid.
Like he was a little taller than Will, because Will had to look up.
He like,
looked 30.
Shit, you look 40. I was like, that was kid. Like, what is it?
You know that black people.
Cat Williams just did a thing where he kept saying, he was like, he was like, that man is 96 years old. Then he goes, well, what do you expect Biden to do? He's 97 years old. What do you think he's going to do? I mean, Biden is 98 years old, and he just keeps acting like
Biden old as hell.
And it was just so funny.
And we'd have caught him falling asleep, doing all types of old.
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, all types of old man shit. Bernie wasn't been doing that.
Bernie definitely has a nurse wake him up. Like, listen, I was feeling the burn.
Man, look,
but
my boy Burn had the drip at the inauguration.
Man, look, but Bernie been around for some time. Bernie's always been in the spotlight. You know what? And people be so, I hate how pressed people be about the president doing things that doesn't fucking matter. Like Obama wearing his tan suit had people in a tizzy.
Like, because I mean, they look for reasons to hate.
Well, the crazy thing
like people was mad at Trump for playing golf, and I'm like, ain't that all rich
no, they all do. It's because of what's happening in the time. It's one of those, when your world is on fire, you think everybody else's world is on fire. So, like, I mean, the same thing kind of happens in my job. Yeah. People are like, "I'm drowning," and I'm like, "Okay."
People is talking crazy because they like, oh, because they saying we supposed to go into recession this year. Yeah. And they like, well, shit, well, all that money y'all been giving to Ukraine, that like, man. How we going to the recession and y'all giving them billions?
No, they just need to cut off these people that are siphoning off unemployment and sitting on benefits that don't need to be on benefits and unemployment. Like the fact that like someone got unemployment in my name and I have to go deal with that now is really kind of pissing me off because I have a job. So I'm mad that somebody even pushed the money to get this money out to you, and you didn't even check to make sure.
Right, I ain't even getting the cut of.
Yeah, like, and then for the fact that of the state to come after me for this for these funds.
Actually, I gotta call my post office job. I got a W-2 for like $2,000, and I'm like, I ain't getting no $2,000.
Yeah, like
with it. And I ain't worked for them since like 2018.
Yeah, so it's like,
why am I getting a 2022 W-2?
Yeah, like I didn't like. What are y'all doing?
First off, where my money at? Like we gonna start there.
Who is this?
Like who the fuck are you? Y'all sending W-2s for some money I ain't never get.
Like I feel like that's one of those weird things that we just keep like. I think, and that's what it is. It's like when people's world is on fire, they think everybody's world's on fire, or they want everybody to act accordingly. And the thing is that when you are yelling, when you're so busy yelling at me about the stove being on fire, you should be putting the fucking fire out. I'm trying to help you, but if you about to sit here and watch the stove be on fire, then fuck you.
Like, watch together.
Yeah, like that's really where we're at. Like, so I think that's kind of, I think that's like interesting. And that's interesting in what we're seeing even now in the anime community. That's what we're like. With Disney buying up everything and kind of doing what they're doing, because apparently you can't own a certain amount of media before people start like kind of getting angry about it. But since it's international media, I think that's why Disney is like, I'm gonna get my hold on it. So they're looking to like outbid Sony on a bunch of stuff, so they could easily get One Piece. They could get like Dragon Ball. They could get a lot of stuff.
I'm so tired of them.
Like and I wouldn't even call it just America. It's just Disney. It's just America. Because everybody else, and the thing that's more irritating about it is that they have the money to outbid Sony and just might. And it's kind of like, why? Like,
and because it's greed, it's fucking capitalistic greed. They see a market that has taken off and become commercialized, so they want to get, and it's not fully commercialized to the. It's still not to that point yet. It's still to the point where it's still early enough for Disney to get in on it and corner the market. Because they're bigger than Crunchyroll, who had the market cornered for America for majority of the past decade. So that was really their only competition. Right. So it's like, oh, we got way more money than them. Let's bully them out of this. And nobody else can fight with Disney in America or overseas. Nowhere. No media company can actually stop them from cornering the market.
Right. I mean, I think what's going to end up happening is that, one, I think anime is in its trend, but I don't think it's going to stay like that. I think what ended up happening here was that we all had to stay in the house, and quarantine is what made us really go. Quarantine is celebrities.
Only reason I say that is because of social media. Like I think social media, I don't think the trend will die because of social media. Because now everyone could be so vocal and popularize all types of, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it might die down a little bit, but I don't think it'll ever go back to where it was.
I mean, I think what we're about to see is Thangs split too. Not just have been here, but the people who are like not interested in doing all the arguing. Yeah, and like the people who are, because there are people who are anime clout traders.
Yeah.
Like they have their ridiculous like unpopular opinions, and I don't mean ridiculous unpopular opinions like AOT isn't not a great anime. I mean, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think it's your opinion on the show. Yeah. I feel like you're not gonna rock my world because you don't think My Hero Academia is good or you don't think Bakugo's a character. I'm not arguing with you about it. I don't personally care, but I think the people that are outside saying all these mainstream animes like One Piece is shit and it'll always be shit and it's always been shit. It's like, right. We can't end the conversation with that is that, well, what don't you like about One Piece? And that's the conversation that I'm finding hard to have with people because people can't tell me what they don't like about it. All they can tell me is other opinions of other things. Well, or they tell you that the fandom is crazy. I'm like, the fandom has nothing to do with you. Right. You don't have to and like I've said it before, the fandom and
like I know the fandom of Dragon Ball Z is wild, but I don't partake.
But you don't partake in it, and I don't associate you with it.
like, and I've been watching it from day one up until now. Like I actively read the manga, so like
it's tiring to get into these people. Like you always know I'm on the fan fiction side of things. So for people to get as irritated as they're getting with what we're doing with these characters. Because these are the same people that go, they aren't real.
Which I don't understand. Because, like, I like all the animes. And I don't care what you do. It's fan fiction. I don't care.
Bro, because you don't have to see it.
I don't have to see it.
I don't come over here every day and go, hey, man, look at this fan fiction. Like,
you might tell me about it or tell me what you're writing or, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, cool. That's interesting.
Right.
And then we move on.
That's the last we talk about it. Like, because I know you're not into it. Man. But, like, the fact that you get so irritated and upset about what I'm doing with characters, not yours, but characters. This isn't even the author coming out and going, stop doing this, right? Yeah. People are like, well, he's canonically straight. And you're like, okay, it's my headcanon. He's not canonically straight in my headcanon. Right. Oh, he's canonically this. Okay, that's fine. I know how things are supposed to build. I'm not going to argue with you. I know that Bulma and Vegeta are supposed to end up together. But do I want to see what she would be like if she was with Goku? Maybe. Like, who cares? Yeah. At some point, nobody cares. Maybe I want to see Trunks with a girlfriend. Maybe I want to see how far he can get with somebody else. I don't know. Who?
Actually,
who cares?
I mean, Trunks working on that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I would have never put those two together, and it's very refreshing and lovely. And I like the fact that he obviously ends up picking a woman that's close to how his mother is, because Saiyans pick strong women, but also you pick people that are like your parents. Yeah. That's not like on a creepy incestual thing. They have like qualities. Yeah. That's just what it is. So like I feel
this
like
is what you think about it. You grow up around a person raised you, like they've been there every step. So of course it's comforting to find somebody with those similar, not just like them, but you know, similar things.
Well, that's what it's things you like about your parents.
It's scientifically proven, folks. Like no matter it's science.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I think we're starting to get to these people, and I think what's not helping is that we're starting to get to this stuff where people are like, there's like these Japanese artists are getting backlash like for sexualizing children, and I'm like, okay. This is not an American thing. Right. Stop trying to treat it like
your American morals. Like they had a whole different system over there.
Yeah.
What's considered adult, what's considered like. Yeah. So like fall back.
Like, and I think that's the other
thing. And then
you
can, you know what? You can choose not to watch it. Like I said, there was one anime where dude was the girl bodyguard. The girl was like a high schooler. Yeah. And she was like, and I was like,
That's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's a little too weird for me. I'm a little uncomfortable. Yeah. So I'm gonna just leave that be.
I think that we're too busy trying to trick people into watching stuff. Obviously, I think you would like Banana Fish, but the gay aspect of it might just not be your cup of tea. It's not anything egregious enough for me to be like, I'm not gonna recommend it to you at all. Yeah. It's not anything like that. They're like, yes, no, maybe I would not recommend to you. That's definitely not gonna be a cup of tea. I know that. But I feel like the fact that people are like leaving important things out, I don't think you're homophobic because you're not interested in gay romance. You're just not interested. You're not calling them names. You're not bashing them. You have no problem with their lifestyle. You're just not interested. You're not interested in love stories. So showing up to your house with going, this is a BL, you won't watch straight stuff. It's not even like I would have a.
But the mass majority of people jump in. Oh, he doesn't like. No, it's not like bro. I crack jokes and kick it with a gay person at work every day. Like, he the coolest dude in there. We have a great time. Like, I don't care what you do. That is your lifestyle. That has nothing to do with me. I don't fuck what you do.
Like, I think that people are being. I think we're at this terrible spot now where people are being too pushy. Yeah. Because they're like, what do you mean you don't watch blah blah blah? But then there are also the people like, you only watch mainstream, and they're like, you don't watch no blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, so when you meet somebody that only watches mainstream, why don't you ask, one, why they only watch mainstream? Most of the time, only mainstream people I watch are people who aren't really into it, so they don't know where to start, or they just, like, I have a friend that only does recommendations. So he never gets into anything deep, or he has only deep anime and no mainstream, because he's only going off of what people tell him to watch, and that's kind of what it is. Which, once again, is fine, but we have to stop attacking each other. I don't.
I'm telling you,
like we just this die on the hill mentality thing, and as cancel culture makes its way into, that's what I don't like about it getting bigger. Cancel culture is gonna like kind of fish its way in if it's not already there, because you feel
like the whole Zoro be a racist thing. It started off as a troll, then it started kind of getting serious.
Then people started looking, and I'm like, guys,
it's not Zoro's fault that usually the second strongest dude of the group happened to be black.
If anything, you should be happy that the second dude happens to be black. And I feel like that's where we keep getting to these weird things where you're reading in between lines.
Because I'm like, originally, like, Luffy's fighting the stronger dude, and whoever next in line, that's who Zoro posting up with.
As well as whoever happens to walk past Zoro. True. You have a bad attitude, and you over here, you hit my man like, excuse me, bruh. Hey, you're excused, and I'm not your bruh. Like, that's what the conversation. Like, that's Zoro. I'm not your bruh.
I'm not your bruh.
Like, now I feel like people like to read in between lines, as well as people obviously don't know where jokes are gonna go. Yeah. Like that whole Keith Lee situation on TikTok, where that woman was calling someone out, but not Keith Lee. But like, the thing is though,
she was hedging her bet on it.
She was, but the thing was that made it shitty was that you did a whole thing and caused a whole problem, and for you to come out later and go, it's not about Keith Lee. So when people started asking you stuff under your video, would have been the time to go, it's not this person.
But that's what I'm saying. I think she did it. She did it in a very vague way so she could still have room to backtrack if stuff got too hot.
Yeah, but I still but don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah, but people be trying it.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just think I think that we're just.
You was in his comment section.
Yeah.
Talk about food critic thief. Like, but I wouldn't talk about you. No, you just gave yourself plausible deniability.
Yeah, like you're putting, and I think that's where people get so upset, because they're like, well, she never actually said it was him. Okay, but she didn't go out of her way to fucking fix it.
Yeah. Like she didn't say it wasn't him. If it wasn't about him, like, think about it. Any situation you've seen with somebody be like, hey, you was talking about this person. If they wasn't, they denied it. Like, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
It would have been snipped in the bud. It went it got like, I don't know how deep to where she was finally like, oh, it's not.
Oh, it got very deep. Yeah. He actually had to like put a video out.
Yeah, like so if it wasn't about him, as soon as people asked about him, it should have been nipped in the bud.
Yeah.
So like, let's be real. Yeah. And then you didn't realize all these black folks was gonna come out the woodwork. All these major TikTokers was gonna stand by this dude like they did.
Like
you thought something was sweet. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I feel like that, and I feel like that's kind of where we're getting to this point now, where everybody's sort of like, well, like, if you watch this anime, then you're a trash person, and I won't. Like, someone was making a joke, like, if you agree with Aaron, then you're a red flag. And I'm like, it's not, first off, that it's more complicated than agreeing with Aaron.
Right.
It's more about the fact that I don't agree with genocide. I don't agree with mass genocide.
But at the same time, I can see where he's coming from.
But I understand, after being tortured by some people for all of your life, and watching the people you love and know killed, eaten, and forced to live in a constant state of fear. Yeah, when you get to show up, absolutely. Right. Like, when you get violated, That's what
and
happens.
then it wasn't like he didn't put. He thought about different avenues, but it all ended with them people, and these people have said it. We will not stop until y'all dead.
Yeah.
So if a group of people came to you and said, "We not gonna stop fucking with y'all until y'all disappear," what choice are you left with?
I don't.
It's either die, or it's either kill or be killed at that point.
I mean, we can all joke about supporting the mass, like situation, but I think that people constantly it's one of those. I don't support it. I understand it. Yeah. And those are two different ideologies and situations. I don't support any hero doing anything that has to do with people's lives. But after watching your mother get crushed and eaten, after watching the man that used to take care of you get eaten, after watching these people throw their lives on the line, what Anne did to them was tragic. When she actually these people were crying for their parents. These people were not even, you couldn't even kill them swiftly. These Titans are torturing them. Yeah. And I think that that's the part, you have to bite my leg first, and then my arm, and then my head, and then just for the science behind it, you're not even hungry. You just eat to eat. You're just destructive. And I think that that's the part that, as much as we want to sit here and complain and talk about, Aaron is a hard character. I will agree to that. But what I will agree to too is that people. The point is that Gabi's supposed to the mirror she is. Gabi doesn't understand why anyone's doing what she's doing, but she wants to eliminate Aaron, and rightfully so.
Yeah, it's all in a weird way. It's all relative. Like as Black people, we can sympathize and empathize with Aaron and his people, because since throughout our history we've dealt with numerous of the same things, being labeled as violent people when we just minding our business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Having a stigma attached to you, and the feeling of, if, there's nowhere safe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely empathize where there's nowhere safe for me to go where I can feel. No. And the crazy thing is just having to put up with it. Yeah. Because that's just how those people are. Or that, and I think that that's the thing, because there is no talking. Yeah. Because even in the situations where you think about different places to live, or things like that, as a Black person, you always think, I'm gonna have to deal with something. There's no place on the country where a Black person can go to feel comfortable. You would think we can go to Africa, but the people from Africa don't even like us because we're American. We're Black and American. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like what do you do? Yeah. Well, it's one of those things that we've been unfortunately tainted. Air quotes for my listeners. We've been unfortunately tainted. And so now, it's crazy because our ancestors brought us here, and then now the present people are not this present, but the present people are return. And we're what? So what? There's no land, there's nothing to return to. After, because I've had someone tell me that I should die or I should return to Africa. And it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, where would I go? I'm like, so I don't even know where my history began. I'm like, Africa. Where are you from? Right. Are you from Ireland? Return to Ireland. I have no family in Ireland. Are you from Europe? Return to Europe. Yeah, and I think that it's one of those things where it's about people. It's about what people are willing to accept. People are willing to accept that some of their cultures are immigrants, but they're not willing to accept that we are. Yeah. Like the funniest thing, somebody told Red to go back to where he came from, and I was like, I'm. Yeah. He was like, I was. My people was here before you. This is where I came from. You, sir, you go back to where you came from. I was like, you colonizer. And I feel like that's kind of where and that's so crazy, though, to know that, your people aren't originally from here, but yet have the entitlement to mark the land and tell you to go back. And I think that that's what's so upsetting, is that I'm like, okay. And then the crazy thing is what you hit them with, your family was probably slaves too, because they weren't just enslaving white people. They were Black people. They were white slaves too, dog. Yeah, they were indentured servants. Yeah, you. Who says you came here on royalty? You could have been on the same ship as me. Yeah, and I think that that's where people get sort of, and it's they kind of get mad at us, but it's you do know that some of your people also did kind of. Well, so some of y'all aided in making more of us. Yeah, we might have been able to be killed off, but some of you. And obviously, we're becoming more progressive. We're moving forward. We have better resources now and everything. But the stigmatization and the
and the systems of it all. I mean, even in the Attack on Titan idea, those people, the people who do fight fight for the country, still have marks on their arms. They're still not respected over there. Yeah. You telling me that they like, well, you become a Titan, your family will forever eat. But I take years off my life. Once I become a Titan shifter, I'm no longer like able to have kids live out a full life. Yeah. And I think that that's a shitty thing as well. That people are kind of just like, it's like Reiner wasn't living any better than he was over here. If anything,
he was living better over there.
Yeah, like in Paradise.
And that's why he's so mentally jacked up, because it's like we fighting for, and it's wild, and it's once again relatable for like a black person going into the military. We fighting for a country that don't even fuck with us.
Yeah. And I think that,
and I feel like that is that, and then you can understand why he be out there wilding mentally, because it's like, bro. And then I mean, as one of them little niggas seeing that, I'd be like, hey, y'all got all of that. I'm cool on all of that.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I think that's why it's so crazy that I mean, I noticed that we fucks with that kind of shit heavy. We love underdog stories because I mean, we feel like we're truly and utterly the underdog. Yeah. Like, and I think Attack on Titan is at this point the most underdog you can be, because you don't even think of it as an underdog story until you get to season 4. Like, it's just a man against Titans, and then you realize it's like, this is systematic.
Like, y'all got to realize at the beginning of this, Aaron's whole goal was just to hit the sea with his homeboy. Yeah, he just wanted to see he just wanted to see the ocean with his best friend.
Like, that's it.
And now look at him. Now he got to kill everybody. Because y'all won't let him see the ocean. Like, I think he even said that, like, all I wanted to see was the ocean. Yeah. But these people want me dead. So in order for us to see the ocean, we got to kill them people.
When he finally got to the ocean, he was like...
Because he'd have been through so much at that time.
This was a heavy episode, guys. Yep. But if y'all got a good opinion on it or something like that, hit us up. Let us know. Talk to us. We like y'all.
Some of y'all. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, couple.
Like, hit us up and everything like that. You know, we'll try to keep heavy episodes like this and keep us talking about more animated things. But you know,
Always gotta have the things.
Next week.
Yep.